Are you a beginner? Can't build a good team? Well, don't worry, because losing is part of the process. Let's go. What's up, guys? Your boy is back, and today I'm beginning a series for beginners by request. And I just want to go over team composition today and kind of how to build a team and what your thought process should be as a beginner going through building a team. So I'm just going to go ahead and say the first thing you should do is pick a Pokemon that you like and pick a support Pokemon that you like. It's very important you have a support style Pokemon in doubles, especially. So I'm going to give you guys three right here. Three support Pokemon you should use. Mainly these two, because this one has hidden ability Prankster, so you can't just go catch one with Prankster and use it. So we're going to focus on these two, Grimmsnarl and Whimsicott. So let's just say we're going to start your team off with one of these two, and you can choose which one. Grimmsnarl tends to be on the bulkier side of support, and Whimsicott tends to be on the side of being a little more aggressive. So let's say you want to build a more aggressive team. So we're going to go with the Whimsicott. And you got Tailwind on Whimsicott, which will let you go first because you have the Prankster ability, and Tailwind doubles the speed of all of your Pokemon. So that right there effectively sets you up with a strategy. My strategy now is to set up Tailwind so that I'm faster than my opponent. It's a very basic strategy, and a lot of people use this even in high competitive play, given there's a little bit more in-depth thought to it when it comes to an in-depth game. But on the surface, you just want to get double speed, and so let's just make that our focus as a beginner, to double our speed with Tailwind and put a Pokemon in that can abuse that. So let's use Dracovish. I mean, you can use Charizard or Dragapult, which Dragapult already outspeeds anything anyway, on base anyway. So let's make Dracovish our Dracovish Whimsicott as our start here. So Dracovish has an attack, Vicious Rend. If he gets to go first, it doubles the damage on his attack. So that makes it really crucial to be able to go first. So let's say we can open up Whimsicott Dracovish. So now effectively you can go in there and Tailwind, and now you can Vicious Rend, chop down most of anything. You're hitting high damage with that. And you can also use Crunch or Leech Life or Ice Wing, which is the set I'm using, which, just FYI, you want to use bite moves because of the ability Strong Jaw. But so we've developed a plan. Our plan is to double our speed and get to move faster than our opponent. So as our strategy, now we want to build a more diverse, you want to go for diversity as your next step. So now that you have a small base of, I want to go fast and I have someone that hits hard, and you want to go for some type coverage here. So we have a Water Dragon and a Grass Fairy, which the typing doesn't matter too much here because you're not going to be attacking much with Whimsicott. You do have the Moon Blast on this set in particular. There are other moves to use, but so we're going to go with water coverage as our main coverage here. So we want to add a fire Pokemon because we want to be able to kill grass stuff really easy. So let's add in a G-Max Charizard, or even just a regular Charizard. Let's just pretend this is a regular Charizard because that's a little easier to get a hold of. So now we have fire coverage, so you can even lead Whimsicott Charizard, which is a very popular lead, especially back in the Dallas regional days, which is one of the main topping two Pokemon. So now we can double our Charizard speed, make sure we get in there, hit some, you can run Heat Wave on Charizard, whatever you want to move, whatever you want to use. Our simple strategy is doubling our speed and getting to attack first. So we now have fire and water, and maybe we want to add a tank to our team. So we'll add Ferrothorn in there. He gives us a grass steel coverage, And now we have a Pokemon that can take damage and also put a little bit of the control aspect, so we don't just have full attack, right? Now we have something to lean on other than just these Pokemon to attack. We can, if we go Whimsicott Charizard and we're up against an Excadrill and we know he's going to max Rockfall us right immediately, we can be like, okay, let's just pivot Charizard out and let's throw in the Ferrothorn. Let's pivot him in so he can take that hit fairly well, and he basically effectively lost a turn of Dynamax. And now Ferrothorn's in there, and you can protect to take another hit of Dynamax and tank it some more, or whatever it might be. And you're getting your grass coverage in there. And you can also run steel moves, Gyro Ball being the best one on this Pokemon. So you get some more coverage as well. And let's just say we want to add in, someone that can intimidate. Intimidate's a great ability. This is an ability that is really great to have on a team. It as soon as the Pokemon enters the field, it drops the attack of both opposing Pokemon, which only works on physical attackers, obviously. But it's a great thing to have. We're gonna just throw an Intimidator in here. Given you probably don't want to run this one because you're running double fire, but that's okay. You can run Gyarados as an Intimidator or Hitmontop. Whichever one suits you best, or even the more popular one, Incineroar right now, is also a good one. Also fire typing. So now we have a little bit of attack control in here, and we can also pivot into this. So as you see, we've built a team here that now has our main support that lets us double speed, and we can start with water or fire. Just simplifying this for you guys. So now we have a main start of water and fire. So however you start out, if you open up into a bad matchup, like, oh crap, I ran my Dracovish into they got a Dragapult out there, and he's gonna probably one-shot me with a Max Dragon, or maybe it's a Duraludon with Max Dragon. I need to pivot out. Let me pivot into my Ferrothorn so it can now hit, it can take the hit. And if you open up with a good matchup, you might want to leave that Pokemon in and pivot in later. Now remember, this is just a basic team that I'm building for you guys, just to kind of understand how a team building works. You kind of just, you start with 2 Pokemon or 3, and then you work out how the other Pokemon can cover their weaknesses, or how can they help your team out in another special way, right? So we obviously have the 2 fire types, but we have Charizard as a sweeper and Arcanine as a pseudo support almost. And so we need one more role. And let's see, we don't have any electric moves. We don't have any electric. We don't have, what else do we not have? We don't have fighting type. We have some dragon, but we don't actually run a dragon move. What could we run? Let's go, we can just put Toxtricity in here. He would be a great example of also another strong opener. He also has electric cover and poison coverage, and with Whimsicott is actually really well, because he doesn't have the highest speed stat to begin with, but Whimsicott doubling that effectively makes him very powerful. So just on the surface here, we have now a water support, a fire attacker, a tank who also can cover some grass moves and steel moves, a support, a pseudo support who lets us intimidate as he comes out, so we're abusing the ability here as the main aspect of this Pokemon. And we also have an electric Pokemon, so we have our type coverage in our team. We're not all super weak to the same stuff, right? That's our main thing. And as team building goes on, as you get more advanced, it can get way more complicated, and it will if you continue to pursue it as a in competition, right? So that's kind of how you build a team. You just start with some Pokemon that you like, and I'm just suggesting support Pokemon for you, because you really need one. And it doesn't have to be these 2. I mean, you can use all kinds of different support Pokemon. You have Dusclops and Dee, and you can even just go back and watch my support Pokemon video. I have a whole video about support Pokemon. You can go watch that and get a little more in depth about what you might want for that and what kind of teams they cover the best. So that's kind of just all I really wanted to share with you guys. I hope it was useful for you guys. It was a very vague breakdown, but I think that it could be very helpful for someone trying to begin. The most important part is just taking your team in there and playing and losing. You have to just lose, and you're going to lose probably a lot when you first start. It's just part of the learning process. When I started playing back in December, it was awful for me. I mean, I understood how to play and I understood what was good, but I didn't have the knowledge of what the other Pokemon could do and what type of abilities they could carry. What kind of items do they carry? What do you usually see this Pokemon carry? So a lot of it's just getting in there and playing and losing and learning from the loss and just understanding how your team matches up against other types of Pokemon, and also recognizing the weakness in your team as you lose. So you can kind of whittle down, like, what maybe Ferrothorn's not a good Pokemon this meta because everyone's running Incineroar, so he's just hitting me with fire. And you're 4 times weak to fire, so you can't pivot into anything safely because everyone's got fire coverage. So maybe I should take Ferrothorn out, or maybe Ferrothorn's good right now because everyone's running grass, and everyone's running water Pokemon and rock Pokemon. So he hits really hard on those Pokemon, and he tanks them as well. So just little things like that you'll notice as you begin to play. You'll be like, okay, this Pokemon was bad then, now it's good. And things switch around a lot. The meta changes weekly, I would say. It really does. People are always trying new strategies. But your goal is to get in there with a basic strategy, understand it, play against other people, and as you work your way up the ladder, you'll start running into more complex strategy. And you'll begin to understand it as you play. So I just want to encourage you, get out there and lose some games, because that's how you learn. So I hope I was informative for you guys. As always, God bless. Peace. Now get out there, guys. Lose some games for me and win some games for me.